Good evening, everybody. Calling back again. It's Monday, the 14th of November, and Lord knows I have been in my head today. A lot of my job, I do it primarily by myself. Like if you watch the video, I was in the dump truck all day today, pretty much by myself, welding, fixing it. So usually I got my headphones. And I can listen to music, whatever, something to make me feel better. But unfortunately, somebody smashed my last phone, so getting a new one set up has been a pain in the butt. But I wanted to warn some people, hey, there's a lot of topics I want to hit, and I'm going to be kind of all over the place because anybody that's been through these traumatic situations knows that your brain is just popping off everywhere. God knows, especially when you go to sleep. I am grateful for work, but getting out of our head and looking at now and being positive is so difficult. And I had mentioned earlier that I might get into a little biblical reading. And regardless of how you feel about God, whether or not you're an atheist or agnostic or you believe in Buddhism, the stuff I choose to look at and read, yes, I'm a Christian, but the stuff I look at goes to everybody. You know, there's a lot in these books, AA books, whatever you read, NA, that you may not be an addict, but there's so much information in there because they're not just trying to get you sober. If you're just sober without changing this and this, they call it that a dry drunk. I mean, this was told to me years and years ago by my uncle. He said, Colin, you may not be drinking, but you haven't changed. That was like 10 years ago, and I remember that. I remember where I was standing. And he was right. It hurt, but damn it, he was right. Yeah, I wasn't drinking, but I hadn't changed. I wasn't doing anything to try to change. I was just not drinking, but I was, miserable doing it the whole time because I wasn't following steps. I wasn't coping the right way. I wasn't having alternative hobbies and stuff like that to keep me away from that. I literally had to relearn how to have fun. That's a hard thing, and I've heard that in meetings when guys and women, whatever, people, we as addicts associate fun with our drug of choice. So for me, it was drinking. Everything I did, I had to have drinks. If I go to a party, whatever, drink, I associated that with fun, and I had to relearn that. Now I did years ago. I moved into Mexico back when I was like 21 for a couple months, and I remember being on the Sandia Mountains in Albuquerque and feeling really good for the first time, but I was sober. It was amazing. I never forgot that feeling. Now, I was stupid for many years, and I may not have forgotten it, but I stopped thinking about it. So, yeah, I'm really I'm practicing patience and practicing love, and not being spiteful or vengeful or any of the old me, any of that. I'm going to take the good that I had, and I'm going to add what I've learned, anything. But that being said, when you're going through something traumatic, patience is one of the hardest things that you can do or handle. You want it now. And that's a big reason why we go to alcohol or drugs or sex or whatever, pornography, I don't know, food, whatever the issue is. I really don't care. Everybody's got their own problems. My situation, I was an alcoholic. I'm an alcoholic, recovering, whatever. And some people I know seek validation through sex, and that's what they have to offer. Or so they think. They don't have any self-worth. You're worth more than that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not opposed to sex or anything like that. It's great. But more often than not, how many guys and girls I've talked to that have gone off and sought that immediate affection and then only felt worse afterwards. There's no emotions, there's no real feelings. You're just trying to fill a hole. But that hole can only be filled by you, God, your higher power, whatever. Somebody else isn't going to fix you. That's another thing you learn with addiction, is that no matter what happens, you can fix you with help, but you have to put your mind to it and you have to put your heart into it. And that's what I'm trying to do. You know, this is all new to me. I ramble. I'll probably repeat myself. I say the do next right thing. You'll probably hear that on every video. I don't know. You know, this morning I got up and went to work. It was miserable. Got up at like 4:30. I barely slept, in and out all night long. Get up, go to work. It's freezing outside. I know that I'm going to be outside working. Sucks getting up. But you get to work, you feel better. And you're grateful at the end of the day for that opportunity to have a better life. We all look at jobs as, oh, I got to go to work. I got to do this and that. Hey, this is an opportunity. Take advantage of it. So I didn't have my Bible with me today, and I'm working on my new phone. Not having cell phone service like that. I use their Wi-Fi, but I stay pretty busy and I work outside, so the Wi-Fi connection is pretty shoddy. But I wanted to read this. James chapter 1, verse 1, or not verse 1, chapter 1, whatever. I'll just go from there. Again, I apologize to you that do not believe in God. This is still for you, though, because these words, even if you take God out of the whole picture, these words speak true. Trials and temptations. Consider it pure joy, my brothers, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith develops perseverance. Perseverance must finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. If any of you lacks wisdom, he should ask God, or your higher power, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to him. But when he asks, he must believe and not doubt. Because he who doubts is like a wave in the sea, blown and tossed by the wind. That man should not think he will receive anything from the Lord. He is double-minded and unstable in all he does. The brother in humble circumstances ought to take pride in his high position, but the one who is rich should take pride in his low position, because he will pass away like a wild flower, for the sun rises with scorching heat and withers the plant. Its blossom falls and its beauty is destroyed. In the same way, the rich man will fade away, and even while he goes about his business. Blessed is the man or woman who perseveres under trial, because when he has stood the test, he will receive the crown of life that God has promised to those who love him. When tempted, no one should say, God is tempting me, for God cannot be tempted by evil, nor does he tempt anyone. But each one is tempted when he by his own evil desire is dragged away and enticed. Then, after desire has conceived, it gives birth to sin, and sin, when it is full grown, gives birth to death. Don't be deceived, my dear brothers. Every good and perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of the heavenly lights, who does not change like shifting shadows. He chose to give us birth through the word of truth, that we may be a kind and first fruits of all he created. Now, that wasn't the whole first chapter, but I don't want to feel like I'm being preachy. Big thing I catch from that, just half of that chapter, is perseverance. Blessed is the man that fights through it. Woman, man, sorry. Or X, whatever you want to be called. I don't care. Perseverance, man, that's hard. Patience, humbleness. Good Lord, patience. I'm in the boat right now. I want everything back now. I want my money back. I want my 401k back. I want this back. I want that back. Hey, that hurt my pride, my ego. But then that's a killer too. I can't be sticking on my pride and ego. I'm better than that. Y'all are better than that. I had a hard day today. Not gonna lie. And I know that it's gonna continue. Every day. For a while. Now, the pain today, though, that I faced was better than Tuesday when I found out the truth. I knew, like I said, I knew the truth, but when you finally, it's, you've been lied to, but you finally, you see the truth. I mean, physically see the truth. And that's a hard thing to handle. But I'm glad I know. I didn't waste any more time, no more money, no more anything on that. And I focus on myself, I focus on my children. And you know what? Yeah, I'm not in a position right now to be in a relationship with anybody. I wouldn't want to put a woman through being with me right now. I'm too emotional, you know. I have no problem with having a friendly relationship. And that's a big thing with AA and sobriety too, is they really preach, hey, when you're getting sober, you know, and getting clean, the first year you really need to kind of focus on yourself, because you run into situations where you do find somebody. Maybe you find them at a meeting. They're great. They've had a year of sobriety, whatever. You believe in them. You develop a relationship, and over a month or two, you feel like you're relying on them. Well, what happens when that relationship ends and you felt like a lot of your sobriety or your sanity was dependent on that person? I will make a part 2 that follows up on that. It's been on my heart all day, and it comes down to balance, priorities, and what you truly want. And when I say what you truly want, I don't mean to just today. What do you want 3 months from now? A year from now? 3 years from now? If I had not gone with my instincts, I might be a millionaire. Who knows? Who knows what you would be if we just stopped going for the quick fixes? I am coming up my time here. I'm going to post a part 2. Thank you to everybody that has listened, followed, liked, sent me a message, all that. You guys, hard to admit, I was crying today from some of the messages I got. I love y'all. Even if I don't know you. I love y'all. Part 2 coming up.